Hi everybody, it's Benita coming to you rather late with the September forecast. I was away on vacation, so I'm sitting on my floor with my mat in front of me. The Publishing Goblins mat and dice set are what I'm using today. They're my favorites. So I'm just going to switch the camera so you can see what I'm looking at once I figure out how to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go through one by one. So when you have the fate dice, this particular face is saying take each dice in the outer ring and move it clockwise to the space that the other dice have. So I've already done that. So when we are looking at the winter, so first of all, we'll start with the core. The core is flight, and this is all about wanting freedom. So I think a lot of people probably coming into the fall season are wanting to be done with the pandemic. They're wanting freedom. Hi, Karen. They're wanting to move beyond the strictures that we have had with the pandemic. And so that's how I see flight. It's people wanting to get back out again, get to socialize if they haven't already been doing so during the summer. That's what we're seeing there. And if we go into this sector here, the spirit sector, this is oppression. And this is about the path, and it can very much be about the spiritual path. So this is about looking at oppression both externally. We're seeing politics coming up right now. Are there ways that we're feeling oppressed potentially by whoever is running for office? It can also be any internal oppression. Cleaning up, for example, anything that has come up for you with the whole pandemic situation for the last few years. Any emotional material, any challenges that have come about because of the situation. Then when we move up to the mind sector, we see Helm. And this dice is the cups. It's about emotion. And this is usually preparing for challenges. So it's saying preparing for emotional challenges. Now, it may be spring. It may just be for the mind. So it's saying, along with what we've already seen, this is the time to work on and clean up any challenges that have occurred because of the pandemic, anything emotional that has been affected for you. It might be happening in relationships. It might be internal. And it might be stuff that's coming up for you. So it's saying, be prepared to face some emotional challenges. So when we move over here, the star is about hope. Hi, Barbara. Good afternoon to you, too. It's so nice to see you guys say hi on here. Thank you. So the star is about hope. And because it's showing up above woe, it suggests that there may be some folks going through depression, that hope is hard to find. So there's, again, more work, more challenge to start getting ourselves there. So when we look at these ones, the time, the wall, and soul, soul is about being patient with humanity. In other words, it's going to take time to deal with any walls we have between ourselves and other people. There's been a lot of short tempers, a lot of pain that's come about because of the pandemic. So it's saying, try to be patient with the people around you. Work through any walls you've put up between yourself and others. Let's try to get back to a more communal way of thinking. You know, that we're all in this together, ongoing. We're all in the experience of being humans together. So it's saying, try to break down any walls you may have up between yourself and other people. And the anchor showing up in the body sector suggests to me that even if we do get any more waves, there's a certain stability that exists now. We have vaccines. We all know what we need to do if we don't feel well. We know to stay home. There is now a common understanding as to what's required to deal with this situation. So it's much calmer in that sense. It's much more stable. We all know what we need to do if we're not feeling well. We know we need to test if we're traveling or we're going to visit people. We have things in place now to deal with this. So there is a stability. It's not the up and down and roller coaster that we've had the last few years. And then when we look in this sector, the material sector, the lead is about the challenges presented. It's like the catalyst, and this person can be the catalyst. So it's saying you may have maybe one person in your life, maybe more, who really challenges you. You can see them as a catalyst for you to face anything internally you've not been looking at. And the butterfly says, if you're willing to do this work and you're willing to face these challenges, there's a metamorphosis that occurs. It leads to better things. So when I look at the spread overall, it feels very internal for the most part. It's saying there's things to work on that have come up for us the last few years. Now that we are in a more stable situation, we can start working through any emotional challenges that have occurred. Feelings of oppression may be there externally and internally, but it's saying there's a spiritual path to walk as a result of that. So if there are ways you still feel restricted, face what that means for you internally. What does that bring to the surface for you? So most of what we're seeing here is saying work through, prepare for some emotional challenges, start to work through any walls between you and other people. You want freedom? The core is all about freedom. It's about working through the internal process to get yourself there. So that is our reading for September. Sorry, it's 2 weeks late. I do feel, though, it's probably going to cover more ground than the next 2 weeks. It's probably going to be for the season that we're going to start going now that things are more stable around us, now that we all know the protocols, that if we do get COVID, we know what to do. We have resources. Now it's about dealing with any emotional material that has arisen due to the disruption of the last few years. Now we have the stability to face that. So if you need any resources, I'm here for you. Other people are here for you. Time to start working through all the triggers that may have occurred in the last few years. You want freedom? It starts from the inside out. And I will see you guys a little bit later for some mini readings. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now.